Hello, this is A+ College Ready APCSA Professional Development, and in this video we will be talking about abstraction and modular programming, and we will demonstrate that through drawing an emoji using Python Turtle. You should have already read a page that talked about abstraction, and this definition was on there. And abstraction is the act of representing essential features without including the background details or explanations. In computer science, this principle is used to reduce complexity and allow efficient design and implementation of complex software systems. The Python with Turtle graphics interface has built-in functions that allow the movement and drawing commands of a turtle object. You do not need to know the details of how those functions work in order to be able to use them and put them together into a working program. In this activity, we will be drawing an emoji, which is the precursor to the Unit 1 project, which is to create an avatar. Some of the commands that you can use in drawing your emoji and your avatar are T, fill color, and you can fill in with a color there in single quotes. And those names of the colors that are available can be found in that link for the colors that was provided earlier. You can also use T.PinColor, T.BeginFill, and so on. Also remember that there is the Python documentation, and that link was also given to you earlier, that will explain how to use these and other commands. So now what we want to do is to look at the Emoji Starter program. So if you have not already gotten that open, then pause the video and go open that program so that you can follow along. When you open up the Emoji Starter, and it should open up a REPL that looks like this. And notice that there are some familiar things there from an earlier video that we did. So you're going to import the Turtle package because that allows you to use the Turtle drawing commands. And then you create a Turtle object. This one's called T. Remember that you could call that anything, but T is the name of the particular Turtle object in this program. And then we use the T-dot syntax to call different methods, or to call different functions. So the speed function is a built-in function. The high turtle function is a built-in function. Notice that the syntax is T-dot, function name, parentheses after it. Sometimes you put a parameter inside of the parentheses, and sometimes you just leave it blank. And again, you can refer to the documentation. The comments, notice how the comments help you to understand what's going on in the program, and that the names of the functions also tell you what the function do. Later on, you'll be drawing your own functions or creating your own functions, and in those, it's important to follow those same conventions of making names that are descriptive of what the function does. So your job is going to be to create an emoji. And so the minimum requirements for your emoji for this assignment will be to draw the face, draw the left eye, draw the right eye, and draw a mouth. Of course, you can always add extra things into it. You can use your creativity and just have fun with it. Next, I want to show you a completed emoji program, which I already have pulled up here. You'll notice that this code is all typed in. It starts with the starter code that you saw in the other program, in the Emoji Starter, and then there's code added to draw the face and the eyes and the mouth. Notice that all the code is lined up on the left-hand side, and what that means is that all of this code will just execute in the order that it is typed into this program. So let's type run and see what we get. And so we get this emoji, which is a yellow face, 2 eyes, and a mouth, which is the requirements for the emoji that you'll need to do for this assignment. What you should notice over here also is that each section of code, so the face code is all together, the eye code is all together, and this is important for arranging your code for both readability and also for debugging. so that if one of these eyes is drawing in the wrong place, if it's this eye, you want to go to where you have the left eye code so that you can figure out what's going wrong and why it's not drawing in the right place. All right, so as I pointed out, this was all lined up on the left. And what that means is this code only uses the predefined functions provided in the Python turtle interface. So what I want to do next is to look at what would it look like, or how would you make a function from that. So let's go back and talk for a second about modularity. Modularity is something else you should have read about in the Canvas pages. And that just means that your code should be readable. And to make your code more readable, you should use indentation. Python actually requires indentation. Java does not. You should use white space, which is blank lines and things to separate out your code. Comments and good variable names. All of those things make your code more readable. Another way to make your code more readable is to divide your program into smaller components. A common statement is one task, one module. So in the emoji code, a good example would be draw a face, draw an eye, draw a mouth. So those would be one task. So each of those could be one module. The Python programming language uses the term function to refer to modules. In Python, to make a function, you're going to use the keyword def. That sets the code apart from the rest of the program. You give it a descriptive name. You use camel casing when you're typing the name, which means you use a lowercase to begin the name of the function. And then if there are any other words, you use uppercase to separate out the other words in the function name. No spaces. And this right here is an example of camel case. After the name, you would put parentheses and a colon, as demonstrated here. Then you would indent all the code that belongs to that function, and you would indent it all the same number of spaces. And that shows that it would belong to whatever that function is. And then you have to call the function later in the program so that it will execute. So now let's go look at an example of this. So we're going to look again at this emoji starter. And as we were talking about before, you could take each of these sections that were nicely commented out and make each of those into their own function. So I've done that here. And so what you can see is the difference is, so the starter code part is still up here, but right here where there's a draw face, instead of just having this comment, I have added something new. So you type the word or the keyword def, the name of the function, which I've decided to call draw face. Notice the camel casing, lowercase, followed by uppercase to differentiate the words, parentheses, colon. Then all of the code that would draw the face is indented the same amount underneath that definition. The same thing was done for the left eye, the right eye, and for the mouth. So now let's run this code and see what happens. So I click on run. I still have a blank screen. So what's happening here? Well, when you define functions, in order for this code to execute, you then have to call the function. And the way that you call the function is you simply type the name of the function followed by parentheses. So underneath all of your definitions, you go down here and call each of the functions. So I'm going to call the draw face function. And the left eye function. Notice that you follow any of the function calls with a set of parentheses. And then right eye and mouth. Right, so mouth, right eye, left eye. So those were the names. So I just type those at the bottom, and that when I type them here, that now tells the compiler to go up here and find the function called draw face and execute that code. Find the function called left eye and execute that code, and so on. So now when I click run, it draws the same emoji that we drew in the other program where everything was lined up all along the left-hand side. The last thing I want to show you before ending this video is a completed Unit 1 project, which is basically an extension of this emoji into the Avatar Creator project. So here is an example of the Avatar Creator project. I'm going to run it so you can see what it looks like. And so you can see it basically has a face, eyes, and mouth, but this one has a few more details. So the requirements for the Avatar project are to add a few more details to what you started with on the emoji project. So we'll watch that finish. Okay, so hopefully that gives you a good idea of what your students will be doing for the Unit 1 project. If you want to go ahead and extend your emoji to be an avatar, that's fine. But in the interest of time, we decided to just have you do the emoji, and that would give you a good idea of what your students will be doing whenever they are working on this project.